So, got our HyperFlex system right here. We got the manifold, and then we're going to take this off. I will tell you, this is not easy to take off. And I'm happy that it is not easy to take off, because if it's easy to take off and get out of this hook, it's going to always become unhooked. There it is. And then there is a Velcro attach point. So what you're going to do is attach this. First, make sure your system is closed. And we're going to plug this in here. Snaps right on in place. Take a little toss and toss your line. I'm going to set that right there just to keep it from moving. We'll demonstrate this on the other side. First, ooh, I like that. I love how easy these go on. They just go right on. Let me show you what I did on that side over here. So, as I said, come over here, and this even just turned on and told me I'm at 34 PSI. That's interesting. Starting back here, if you can't see it, we'll show you in the front one. But you just go and boom, there it is. And then, boom, there it is. Now it's locked on. Interestingly enough, I am equalized at 34 PSI. That doesn't seem right. I'm gonna check that. Oh, no, that is right. I think I'm supposed to run at 37 PSI. I'm gonna go ahead and check it on the Jeep real quick. Okay, so I am actually showing 34 and 35 PSI all the way around. My back left tire is 35. Interesting. It shouldn't, because all four of my tires should show equalized pressure, but they do say 34, and that's what the gauge says. Cool. 33.9, my tire gauges say 34. I like that. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to deflate down to 20 PSI, and I'm going to start a timer for that. I'm going to do a stopwatch, actually. And I'm going to open this. Ready? And slide it up. Hit start. Then, wow, that blows pretty good. This says that it's 12 PSI, 11 PSI. To show it realistically, we're going to be doing a rundown to 20 PSI. I'm going to do a quick check. I am at 26 PSI. Wow. 23 PSI. 20.9. So let's literally go to 20 PSI. And I am running at 2 minutes. 19.6. There we go. It's locked out. It's done. Hit stop. 2 minutes and 11 seconds. 20 PSI. 19.9 PSI. Just hit 20. Wow, I locked it up pretty good. The cool thing about this whole deal is I'm now at 20 PSI. My tires are a little squishy, and it allows me to go jump around, ride around. Now, most people are going to do 15, maybe even down to 10, depending on what you got going on, and also what you're running with the wheels. That's it. Now, what you don't want to do is take any of this stuff off, because if you pop this off of this end, your tires are going to deflate. So what you'll want to do, and we'll demonstrate it over here just for the short period here, is you'll reach over here, grab your system, and pull back, and off she goes. Put your dust cover back on, put your cap back on, maybe. Some people may or may not do that. Let's show this one more time. You're going to pull back, you're done. Put your dust cap back on, disconnect it from your system over here, roll it up, and put it back in your bag. Now, you don't want to pop this one off because I believe it's going to shoot through. Let's check. Would it do that? No. Oh, it's got a check in there. Okay, so it's not going to blow. I like that. So, we have deflated this line as well. We have gone four-wheeling. We are going back to reconnect these because we're going to drive home now. And we want to have full PSI in our vehicle. Tires locked in. We are about ready to do this. So, what you probably saw me earlier doing was popping I have lockable locks. Pull this one off. Watch this thing. And then push that up, lock it into place. We are now ready to connect this to our vehicle. I'm going to pull this more closer this way so we can watch this. It allows me to lock this in. Positive connection right there. Negative connection right there. And my dude has lit up. Now, you've got your system started down there. I'm going to bring this down a little bit more for you to see. It is set at 0. You'll see what I mean when I get there. I've got it connected, ready to go. Now what we're going to do is connect this to your air inflation system and lock it into place to equalize and distribute your pressure and allow it to flow. So also, what's cool is you can set this up and run it, and now that this is connected, you can then release a little bit of air pressure, that little push valve. Now, time to inflate. Let's start the vehicle. Put the keys in the vehicle and let's get her started. Leave the keys in the vehicle. Then, as you can see down here, we are at 20.2 PSI. I am going to raise this up to 37. Hit multi. Now this guy is saying 30, but that's just the pressure that is pumping through the system. But down here, I'm at 21.6. 22.5, 22.6, 22.7, 22.8. It's just climbing. And I will say, they say that the pump gets loud, but I don't hear it. It's equalizing and checking what the pressure is. One of the last bits we're gonna check, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. All right. So I've got this thermal imager that we're gonna test out. And look at that. See, the pump's warm, 28, okay? And let me get there. 118 degrees. And at that line, at the exit of this air pump, it's 157 degrees. 116 right here. Yeah, that's how it feels. Okay. The line itself, because this thing will automatically adjust, is at 82. Let's see, at the valve. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. That's the hottest point. There we go. That's 79. That's not even hot. So the highest reading on this pump so far is at the manifolds. I don't know if you guys can see that. And it's saying it's 168 degrees. 173 degrees. More importantly, I'm gonna have to actually run this 175. 140. And it is at 37 PSI. We are done. I don't know how long that took. I totally forgot to start my watch, but we'll check it via the video. I'll check to see what the time frame it took. And we'll actually put that timer on in there. So that is basically it in a nutshell. I'm done. I'm at 37 PSI. I am at 36.7 PSI, 36.8 via this gauge. So let's go ahead and take this off. Actually, that is also saying 37.4. Yep. Okay. Take those off. Disconnect your main line. Disconnect this. Now, I let it sit for a few minutes so it has cooled off. Yeah. Relieve the pressure in the system. We are down to 0. We are good to go, guys. Cover your positive terminal back up. We are ready to go. That is exactly what that's intended for. We'll get the full time at the end. It was pretty quick. It was very quick. So I'm impressed in the speed in which this will fill up. I'm also impressed with the speed that it took about 2 minutes and 11 seconds to deflate my tires from 34-ish, 35 PSI, down to 20 PSI. It took me about 2 minutes. So that's all good. The next thing we're gonna do is I'm actually going to show you here in a few minutes that this will also work on your personal cars. I'm gonna test this on my wife's Range Rover. All right, guys, here is the Range Rover setup. I'm still using the Jeep to power this off. That's because the Range Rover battery is in the trunk. There are terminals here, but I don't want to mess with the electronics. So I've got the Jeep pulled up. You can see the lights are on and running. I'm going to power the pump, as you can see, is right there. Actually, right there, sitting on the floor. Got it set to 32. Currently, this is at 28-ish PSI. It actually dropped a little bit below, so it fired off in the morning because it's getting colder here. So you know how it is, when you get closer to the colder temperatures, the temperature fluctuation is a little bit different. So I'm actually gonna pump these to 33 PSI, just to get them a little bit over. And I'm gonna set that now, and then we're gonna fire it off and see what we get. So, plus 33 PSI, watch it flash. Locked in, it turned off, we are good to go. For testing purposes, I went ahead and dropped it down. It is currently equalized at 26.5 PSI. This pump says it's 26.4. Let's go to multi and let's go. 26, 27, 27.5. Now again, it'll shut off, equalize at 30, 31. It is moving 31.5, 31.7, 32, 32, 32. Done, 33 PSI. 26 PSI to 33 on these little cars right here, these little tires right here. We are good to go. So let's go ahead and shut this off. Close the valve, relieve the pressure, pop this off with no added pressure, and then work our way backwards. One of the things is when this pulls out, there's still added pressure inside the line. Tell me you hit the ground. Now, you can't see me, but I'm doing this over here on the other side. Pull that guy off, dust cover on, and then one thing I just learned, we'll see, is still holding 33 PSI. There you go. Relieve the PSI from there. That is easy enough. And then turn off your gauge. You're good to go. Now we're gonna wrap these up, toss them in the bag, put the pump away. But the end all be all is, there are terminals that you can use to jump the vehicle that are built in. That's what Range Rover did that. They put them in the hood. I, just for testing purposes, didn't want to do that. But if you're in an emergency situation where you need something like this, and again, you could be off-roading with your Range Rover. Off-roading would be like on the beach. Once you hit the beach, you're done with what you're doing, then you can come back, fill it up, get your air pressure, use the terminals there. And it did it in like 2 minutes. It was phenomenally fast. Same thing with the Jeep. It knocked out that Jeep super fast. And I can't wait to see the time, but I know it was pretty darn fast. So that pump rocks, and it moves a lot of air. Now, are you restricted by the Schrader valves in the tires? Yes. But this thing also isn't like 6,000 CFMs, it's 10.6. It's gonna move a little bit more than what your Schrader valve's looking for, but it's gonna be enough. And it's gonna do it pretty darn good. The pump does got a bit of a hum to it, and it's a little bit louder, but that's fine. I take that trade-off. I mean, it's not ear-piercing loud. I'm here doing my job, and it'll work. It does a great job. It filled up all my tires. I did confirm through an independent pressure gauge that the tires are all filled according to what the pressure on the pump says. In fact, I think the tires are a little bit higher, but that's fine. The tires and the TPMS seem to be closer. I know there's a way you could calibrate your gauges, but right now, I like what it's doing and where we're at. I like the ability to deflate and reinflate everything through this entire system. It's perfect. Longevity is another test. Obviously, sometime down the road, after a handful of air downs and air ups and taking this thing and running it around and beating it up in a good way and putting it in the Jeep and locking it away, doing what I need to do with it, this thing is going to be with me anytime I go off-roading. I just need to find a good place to lock that into and call it done. I hope this was helpful for you. I do appreciate your time, and I'm out.